Hey everybody, I just did a Bob Dylan collection, so I figured I would do my Neil Young collection. Someone in the comments asked for it, so here we go. As you can see, I have quite a bit of the Neil Young collection, so this might be kind of long, but I'll try to get through it like I got through the Bob Dylan collection. So first and foremost, let me put these over here. First one is Neil Young's debut record, self-titled Neil Young, and it's got the hype sticker on there. And this is actually a first pressing, and it has a different mix on this than the I don't know what you call it, like the common one. This is on the Reprise label, and there's the label right there. And this record's in really nice shape. And this is actually my favorite mix of the album. I know Neil Young doesn't like it himself, which is why it got remixed and remastered or whatever that was. But I think it's fantastic. The actual sleeve is in not the best shape. It's kind of falling apart here and all that stuff. But I was happy to get this just because it's semi-rare in the sense that it's this original mix on here. So that's the very first Neil Young album, which I love, by the way. And then this is the other version of the debut Neil Young album. This is, I think there's a couple different versions actually, but this is the other more common mix of the album. And again, it's a gatefold here. And this is just such a classic record. And this is on the more common Reprise label. And the big song from this record, of course, was probably The Loner and The Old Laughing Lady. Those were two big tunes from this record. Next up, one of the all-time great records by anyone. This is Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, which has such classics as Cinnamon Girl, Down by the River, Cowgirl in the Sand. This is just such a classic record. Some of the best guitar playing you'll ever hear, lead guitar playing on any record anywhere. It's a gatefold. And again, this is on Reprise, I don't know. And one of my just all-time favorite records. And let's see if I can put it back in the original paper sleeve here. Here we go. Next up, we have the classic Harvest by Neil Young. And this copy belonged to my uncle. And this is a very early pressing. I don't know if it's a first pressing or not, but I know he said he bought it. He bought it when it came out, so I'm sure it's one of the very first pressings. I love that back cover in Neil Young's barn. And this comes with the original lyric poster, which a lot of Neil's albums had, which is really cool, and in his writing. So I do love that. And I just love that this was my uncle's because he has really really good taste in music, and he got me into a lot of really good bands, and along with my dad and other people like that. So here's Harvest Side 1. And obviously, or not obviously, maybe you don't. Maybe you are just trying to get into Neil Young and you don't know a lot of his albums or what songs are on which albums. This one has Old Man, The Needle and the Damage Done, Alabama, which is my favorite song on this record, Alabama. It's a fantastic record. What else is on here? Oh, Heart of Gold, of course, which is probably the most known Neil Young song. Words is great. It's just every single song on here. It's just classic. So Harvest. And then another. So basically, from now on, all these records are going to be just classics. So this is After the Gold Rush by Neil Young, and I just can't get enough of this album either. It's got Tell Me Why, Only Love Can Break Your Heart, Southern Man is just phenomenal. Don't Let It Bring You Down is great. It's got so many great stuff. Oh, When You Dance, I Can Really Love You. It's so good. And again, it's a really cool gatefold. And I guess I'll show you the Warner Reprise label again. There it is. So that's After the Gold Rush. Then I have 2 copies of Time Fades Away, which is a live record, and it's a really, really great record. This is the better copy, but they're both in good shape. And I think one comes with a poster. This is the one I have that comes with a poster, and this one doesn't have a poster. But just a really cool record, a really raw record though. My favorite song on here is a song called L.A. that Neil Young plays bass on, and it's just great tune. And it's kind of cool because the album opens up on the top, kind of different. So that's Time Fades Away. And then my favorite Neil Young album, On the Beach. Some have called it one of the most depressing albums of all time. I just love everything about this record. It's so great. I can listen to it over and over and over again. I love the artwork. I love how on the inside of the actual record sleeve, there's artwork inside there. It's actually the pattern of the umbrella. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's the inside of that umbrella is on the inside of the record jacket, so that's pretty cool. And it's just got so many great songs. Walk On, See the Sky About to Rain, Revolution Blues, From the Turnstiles is okay. Vampire Blues is amazing. On the Beach is amazing. Motion Pictures, Ambulance Blues. It's just one of my all-time favorite records. So that's On the Beach by Neil Young. And this is an original pressing. I didn't show the record, but it's just the same Warner Reprise label that I've been showing you this whole time. Okay, these next 2 are not originals. This just came out, I believe, last year, 2016. I think that's true. It's the Neil Young Archive Official Release Series. This is Tonight's the Night, which is a classic record. And it's got a really cool gatefold there, again, with Neil. This one I will show you the record because it's a little bit different. It's a special label that was just done for this record. It's Warner Reprise, but it's just in black and white, or black and silver, rather. And again, this is an album that's pretty rough around the edges. A lot of it, I think, was recorded live. I could be wrong about that. But it has a very live feel to it. But it's such a good record. Tonight's the Night. Another one of my absolute favorite records by anyone. This is Neil Young and Crazy Horse. This is Zuma, which has the song Cortez the Killer, which is just an amazing track. One of the best guitar solos ever by anyone. And this is another. This is made in Germany, and it's pretty new. I think I got this maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I'll show you the record. Got a cool inner sleeve there. Very John Lennon-like drawings. And it's on that Reprise label. Yeah, I love Zuma. Zuma is so good. Moving on here. Okay, this is a collaboration Neil Young did with Stephen Stills. It's the Stills Young Band. It's called Long May You Run. So it's half Neil Young songs, half Stephen Stills songs, but I do like this album. And of course the big song is Long May You Run, which is a Great, great tune. It's got the corner cut off here, which I guess signifies that it's used, or we're back to the normal reprise label. So there's Stills Young Band, Long May You Run. Oh my gosh, this record is so good. American Stars and Bars. And the back's got a cool looking cover. Again, this one opens from the top. This has got like a country feel to it, and it's again on the normal label. Just in my top 5 favorite Neil Young albums, that's for sure. Okay, this is a bootleg I got just recently. This is Chrome Dreams, the Lost 1977 album, which has a lot of songs from American Stars and Bars. It's got the song Pocahontas, which is maybe my favorite Neil Young song. Star of Bethlehem, Like a Hurricane. It's just a really, really great bootleg. And it's on kind of colored translucent vinyl here. And I got this, like I said, a couple months ago, so this is pretty brand new. Moving on, this album is called Comes a Time, and this happens to be a promotional copy. It'll says so right there. This is another great album. A lot of people said this is him kind of going back to the Harvest vibe, where he got a little more country in his music. And again, the Warner label. And my favorite tune from this, I think, is probably Look Out For My Love. Really, really cool song. And it features vocals from Nicolette Larson on here. My computer went to sleep, so let's unsleep it. Next album we got up is an album called Hawks and Doves, which is a very interesting cover. And the first half, I think, was recorded in like 74 maybe, all like kind of acoustic tunes, and the second half was recorded later in like 79, I believe, or 78. But I actually like this album a whole lot, especially the first side. And it's got a different label than most of his albums. It's got the blue star on the front, and then red with a star on the side 2. Okay, carrying on here. Okay, this is a fantastic record. This is Rust Never Sleeps, which is just amazing. It's got Hey Hey My My. It's got Thrasher, Ride My Llama, Pocahontas, Sail Away. Powderfinger is just an amazing tune. Sedan Deliveries. This whole record is just so good. So, Rust Never Sleeps. And it's, again, on the reprise. Brown label. Now, the live record that goes along with that is Neil Young and Crazy Horse Live Rust. And this is also a very good record. It's got most of the songs from Rust Never Sleeps. In fact, maybe it has all the songs. It might. Nope, doesn't have all of them, because I can see it doesn't have Ride My Llama, but it's got a lot. It's got a lot of his hits, so this is a really, really cool live album. And the only live album I have by Neil Young, in fact. Next record, this is called Reactor. And it's not one of my favorite Neil albums. This is when it starts, for me at least, to go little down. I don't listen to this album very much at all. It's got a very, it's kind of got like a punk rock vibe about it, new wavy thing, and it's starting to get into like his synth stuff, which, as you'll see on the next record I'm about to show you. It does have a cool design though. It's got this like red and black label, and this red inner sleeve with the lyrics on it, which is pretty cool. So this next record was pretty controversial when it came out, from what I've read, but I do like it. This is called Trans, and it's got a lot of weird stuff on it with Neil Young singing through like a vocoder, and he just sounds like a robot. But it's a really good. The songs are really really good. But it got panned pretty hard, I think, when it came out. People didn't know what to really think of it. There's Neil. And he was on Geffen Records for this. And I believe David Geffen sued him over this album because it didn't sound like Neil Young. And one person I don't think you should sue is Neil Young, especially when it's over his art. Because Neil Young is one of the only artists, in my opinion, that he does what he wants to do. And he has never sold out, ever. He's never sold out. You could say that about him. You can't say that about a lot of other artists. But Neil Young, he's never sold out. And in fact, when he was being sued by David Geffen was suing him because he thought the album was not rock and roll enough. So Neil Young released this album of like classic rock and roll, rockabilly style songs. This is called Everybody's Rockin', which I love this record. It's so great. It's super short, but it's just a really cool, it's just a cool FU that Neil Young did, again on the Geffen label. My favorite song on here is, let's see, I like Kinda Fond of Wanda, it's cool. He does cover Mystery Train, which is great, and I like Betty Lou's Got a New Pair of Shoes. Really cool, Everybody's Rockin'. Neil Young and the Shocking Pinks, by the way. That's the name of the band he came up with. Okay, then he then went country again. I'm probably missing a few albums in between here, but this is my collection I have. This is Neil Young, Old Ways. This is an album that I've never really been able to get that into. He recorded it in Nashville, I believe, with a bunch of country session people. And I actually got this. This was in the shrink when I bought it. This is in really, really nice shape. But I never really have been able to get behind it. It's on the Geffen label, but it's the black Geffen label. Anyway, that's Neil Young, Old Ways. I don't really have any more information about it other than I've listened to it a few times and it's okay, but it's nothing that was amazing in my opinion. Now, this is an album that I think gets panned a lot, but I actually like it a lot. The recording quality of this album is really cool. This is called Neil Young, Landing on Water, and this is a promotional copy. That stamp there. This is recorded with the drummer Steve Jordan on drums, and the drums are mixed so loud. They're right in your face. They're pretty 80s sounding, but it's a really cool record in my opinion. I like Weight of the World. I like Hippie Dream. It's just it's a cool record. It's weird, that's for sure. But let's look at the label here again on the black Geffen. But this is an album that I would recommend that if you've never heard it because you think it's 80s and it's going to suck because it's Neil Young, and Neil wasn't as great in the 80s, I would actually give it a chance because I really do like this one. Landing on Water. Excuse me. Okay, last two. This is a compilation, and this was my dad's. This is in really rough shape. This is Decade, and this is one of the very first compilations put together by the artist that really dove back into their catalog, and he released a lot of unreleased songs on this compilation. So he was kind of the first to do like the box set in a way, because this is 3 records, and it spans his whole career, and it's great. It's a great starting point. If you want to get into Neil Young and you don't want to buy all the albums, pick up Decade. It's the way to go. And I think they just re-released it maybe a couple months ago. So check this out. It's really, really great. It's very hefty. Last but not least, this is one of my latest purchases. I'm sure you saw this if you saw my birthday haul video, but I've actually listened to it now a couple of times so I can give you a better assessment of it. This is Neil Young, Hitchhiker. This is an album that was recorded in 1976. I might be wrong about the date. Maybe it was later than that. Maybe it's 74. Maybe I think it is 76. Yeah, I know that doesn't say here on here anymore. Anyway, it's so great. It's got like Pocahontas on here, Powderfinger, Captain Kennedy, a new song called Hawaii that I'd never heard. It's such a good record, and I really really recommend it. I'm sure it's in one of your record stores right now. You can get it brand new. I think I paid around $20 for it. But it's just a really really great record. So Hitchhiker, I recommend highly. All right, well that's my Neil Young record collection. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's some Neil Young albums that I don't have that you think I should get. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I will be making a Rolling Stones video maybe right now. Let's see. But let's zoom in on Neil.